How this became the worst SpongeBob episode. Now, I will preface this by saying I am not a SpongeBob expert, but I do make, out of all the shows I make references to, I do make SpongeBob references the most, and I have probably consumed this show the most in my life. So, I would like to think that I know at least a little bit of what I'm talking about. So, I just want to see if I agree with the worst SpongeBob episode. I don't have one in mind right now, but like I'll probably have one by the end of this.
SpongeBob has had its highs. That much is obvious. But
Band Geeks being the best SpongeBob episode? Idiot Box. That's the imaginary one, right? Right? Isn't that it? The Idiot Box? Idiot Box episode. That's in the box. Yep. Okay. Yep. I agree. That's an amazing episode. Fun. F is for friends who did. Yep. Fire. Okay. Never mind. This is great.
People forget the lows.
Great list. Oh my gosh, dude, the Rip Pants episode gotta be on there too. Oh my god, that's gotta be top 5.
Everyone argues about the Splinter or Ink Lemonade. There's
Ink Lemonade? Ink Lemonade. What? What is this? Patrick's Lemonade stand not doing too. Oh, 2018. Oh yeah, never mind. Never seen this before. The Splinter season 6. Oh, I seen this. Yeah, this episode wasn't that good. I'm gonna be honest. It wasn't that good. But it's not the worst. But like it's not that bad, bro. It's not that bad. But I wouldn't replay it. You know what I mean? It was good.
One episode that quietly crosses the line. One that's not just bad, but also a low point for SpongeBob as a character.
Okay.
An episode where SpongeBob is physically trapped in a ringer, and no one, not Patrick, not the people of Bikini Bottom, even the writers, seem to care. And after I rewatched it, the problem is clear. The writers clearly forget what kind of story they're telling. And worse, who these characters actually are. So, how did we get here? How did SpongeBob, the most cheerful, can't-be-broken character in Bikini Bottom, end up trapped and blamed for his own suffering? The episode starts off friendly enough, with SpongeBob having a cheerful bath before work, singing about soap, and being a total goof. Until the slapstick chaos. He slips, crashes, and ends up stuck in a ringer, like physically jammed into it. He tries to wiggle out, but no luck, coming in searching for his rubber ducky. SpongeBob asks for help, and Patrick, being Patrick, glues him in permanently because, quote,
"Now you're stuck forever!"
And SpongeBob, bless him, still tries to be polite about it. But then the first bomb dropped, because this episode isn't about him getting unstuck.
You know what, SquarePants? That's quitter talk. And are you a quitter?
No.
And are you gonna let this ringer get between you and your passion?
Instead of helping SpongeBob unstick himself from the ringer, Patrick just gives him a motivational speech. Like it's a mindset issue, but we know things aren't gonna go well. SpongeBob goes to work, immediately injures Squidward, injures a customer, destroys Krusty Krab's property, causes a whole chain reaction of destruction because, surprise, he's stuck in a ringer, to the point where Mr. Krabs bans him from working and tosses him out of the Krusty Krab only to meet Patrick again. You see, at this point of the episode, most of us would think, see, SpongeBob can't do anything while being stuck. Let's finally address the real problem and try to unstick him. But
I don't remember. Wait, I do remember the episode. I remember seeing all this, but like, I don't remember it. Did it? They didn't. This wasn't an actual like a real plot point in the episode or something. Like,
no, Patrick doesn't give a single shit about that.
Don't you go crying on me. Crying never solves anything.
All he wants is for SpongeBob to stop whining and be positive. In other words, be SpongeBob, because that's who you are, right? But what follows is just emotional and physical misery disguised as fun. He can't eat ice cream, can't play games, gets a black eye, and gets launched off a carnival ride. Meanwhile, Patrick just keeps dragging him around like a damn pet rock. The emotional low point hits when SpongeBob finally snaps. He yells and tells Patrick he ruined his life.
You ruined my cotton candy!
Good! Maybe now you know how I feel about you ruining my life!
But for some reason, the episode turns on him. The crowd starts gathering, vendors are yelling,
"Public fight!"
like it's free entertainment. And Patrick plays the hurt feelings card, says he was just trying to help.
It's only trying to help.
Patrick runs off with broken feelings, and then Sandals delivers this insane monologue. Your body isn't the problem, it's your heart. And just like that, SpongeBob becomes the villain. I just don't get it. Patrick is...
Yeah, it's just an interesting episode. Because, yeah, it does kind of like... seem like they just turned their character arcs upside down for some reason. Was everything fine, like, the next episode? Like, what episode came after this?
It's dumb, but even I still get irritated by that. The drama here is so out of place, we are constantly guessing the show's logic. Wondering why Patrick's character is so toxic and playing the victim. What makes it worse is that the people of Bikini Bottom are known for being jerks. They love to shame someone and make them feel bad, no matter the reason. They just want all the smoke. And what also follows the story is weird, to say the least. Instead of watching SpongeBob try to fix or cope with his emotions, we follow Patrick's emotions. We get this emotional journey of Patrick that wants to ignore SpongeBob, hate him even, but he just can't stop thinking about him since, well, they're best friends. I guess the idea here is to show off their friendship power. No matter how much hardships or mistakes they make for one another, they will and have always cared about each other. The problem is, the emotion has no weight. We dropped our feelings for Patrick since the first minute of the episode. You can't just put him in an emotional arc now and expect us to feel with him. Not after what he did to...
They did all this in 12 minutes? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out, like, bro, what? When did all this happen?
SpongeBob.
Like, I remember the episode, I just don't remember, like, every little bit of it, jeez.
But eventually, Patrick returns,
this is crazy.
Bursts through SpongeBob's front door, and finds SpongeBob soulless on his couch.
My favorite show. Oh, I love that part.
Patrick realizes his mistakes and cries in tears. One tear lands on the glue and, magically, dissolves it. Because apparently the glue is water-soluble. But you're underwater all this time! How? Never mind. I shouldn't question the show's logic, especially when they have a whole episode based on them discovering fire underwater. So they cried together, SpongeBob escapes, they hug, and...
That caveman episode was pretty good, though, I ain't gonna lie. That caveman episode was good.
And the moral of the story is, I guess crying solves your problems after all. That's the ending. That's actually a funny line, I'm not gonna lie. But really, SpongeBob goes through all that pain, emotional abuse, and public shame only to get a tear joke? Not even an apology or justice. Just a ringer falling from the sky to trap them again. SpongeBob didn't do anything wrong, and still, the show decided to make him the bad guy. That's what makes this episode hit different.
Yeah,
and sadly,
it's a weird arc.
Way. SpongeBob is being punished for being SpongeBob. SpongeBob is supposed to be the most kind, optimistic, and reliable character. That's been the foundation since season 1. No matter how bad his day gets, no matter how unfair the world is, he will find a way to love his job, forgive his friends, or laugh through the chaos. But stuck in the ringer, the writers take that same resilience and they punish it. As if that was telling us it was his fault for not smiling hard enough. That's a betrayal of who his character is. It's also not funny watching a character built on joy slowly unravel because his entire world, including his best friend, refuses to show him basic kindness. And speaking of best friends...
I mean, I guess I see what they were trying to go for. Like, it was a metaphor for something. Like, I can kind of see it. It just feels strange. Like, that they're doing it with SpongeBob and Patrick, of all people. You know what I mean? Maybe they could... I don't know. I feel like they could have done it a little bit better if they, like, put Squidward in the ringer. And then had, like, SpongeBob and Patrick, like, try to help him get out. But then also, like, help him feel better about being in the ringer. You know what I mean? Similar to how, what's it called? He was, what happened to Squidward that... He was... I think he had, like, a whole bunch of injuries or something, didn't he? Like, he basically, like, turned into, like, a mummy. Like, that whole episode. That was a weird episode, too. I don't really remember that one that much, but... What's up, Michael? That was a weird one, too. But, yeah. It's kind of like that vibe. You know what I mean? I feel like they could have just done that with this one, but... I don't know. They did take a weird turn.
The gut punch on this episode really comes from Patrick. See, Patrick was dumb, but he wasn't cruel. He was a lovable kid, the kind of guy who'd eat a rock thinking it's ice cream or build a sandcastle just to smash it for fun. But this Patrick is a jerk. This Patrick inflicts pain and calls it friendship. He ignores SpongeBob's suffering, gaslights over his feelings, then gets upset when SpongeBob finally snaps, like he's the one who's hurt. And the show backs him up, too. Why? Instead of calling out Patrick's behavior, the narrative punishes SpongeBob for daring to get mad. They turn emotional abuse into a punchline, and toxic friendship into a heartwarming ending. Now, let's be clear. SpongeBob and Patrick have always had a chaotic friendship. That's part of the fun. They make dumb decisions, they blow things up, they live in nonsense. But go back to episodes like the camping episode, or Christmas Who, or Club SpongeBob. When things get serious, when SpongeBob is really in trouble, Patrick shows up. He cares, even if it's just for 11 minutes.
That's true.
But none of that happens here. Sure, you could say that he's admitting to his mistake at the end of the episode, and then he cries, which also solved the problem, but that wasn't intentional. The show never really tells you who's wrong in this case, and the writers treat it like a lesson in friendship. Like the message is, hey, real friends forgive each other no matter what. That's just outrageous. The truth is, this episode doesn't understand SpongeBob and Patrick anymore. They think their bond is built on tolerance, as if SpongeBob's role is to endure Patrick's chaos no matter how far it goes. Because that's what best friends do. But that's not what their friendship was ever about. Their friendship worked because it was mutual. They were dumb with heart. Now, it's dumb with spite. And look, I get it. It's a cartoon. It's supposed to be silly. But when you're dealing with friendships as your core theme, and you turn one character into a sadist and the other into a doormat, what exactly are you telling the audience? That being a good friend means never pushing back? That if someone hurts you but says, I was trying to help, you should just forgive them? It's a betrayal of what made a friendship special in the first place. But you know what makes it so frustrating? It didn't have to be this way. Because I think the setup is not terrible. SpongeBob gets stuck, Patrick tries to help, things spiral. You could build something honest out of that, something chaotic but fun. The ingredient was there, but they refused to cook.
Yeah, but to say, I think the first half was fine. Even him, like, kind of destroying the Krusty Krab to a certain degree was cool. But I think everything after that was, like, kind of questionable. Like, why did we do all this?
SpongeBob and Patrick have been through everything together. Jellyfishing disasters, contesting Neptune, time travel, even wild sea bears. But here's the difference.
To this day, I still be drawing my anti-sea bear circle. You know what I'm saying? If I'm outside for too long, bro, you gotta draw that bitch. Sometimes you need a square. Sometimes you need a circle, triangle. Always got to make sure you got your anti-sea rhinoceros underwear on. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure that you're prepped. Because anything can happen whenever you exit your home, you know? Why do you think I never leave? Just saying.
In the classic episodes, when Patrick messed up, the show knew it was his fault. And when he hurt SpongeBob, there were consequences. Emotional ones, specifically. Go back to Season 2's I'm With Stupid. Patrick pretends to be smarter than SpongeBob to impress his parents, and SpongeBob plays along, acting like a total idiot just to help his best friend feel better. But as the act drags on, Patrick starts enjoying it a little too much. He starts insulting SpongeBob, starts laughing at him with his fake parents. And when SpongeBob finally has enough, when he confronts Patrick in the kitchen, it feels earned. Because the episode properly shows us Patrick crossed a line. Even if he doesn't fully apologize, the story makes it clear who was wrong. Patrick and his parents are beyond dumb, so there's no point blabbering your mouth to make them understand. The emotional logic tracks. And it's funny, with a little bit of cruelty. Now imagine if that energy was in Stuck in the Ringer. Patrick glues SpongeBob by mistake, tries to help, but still messes it up. And later, SpongeBob eventually snaps. But instead of flipping it into a guilt trip, give Patrick a moment of clarity, a realization. Oh no, I was the one being dumb. That's when the feeling comes in. That's where the hug means something. So when they cried together because nothing works, the punchline, I guess crying solves your problems after all, will actually hit. Great SpongeBob episodes let the characters hurt each other in the right way. After all, you can't fake sincerity, not with characters people grew up loving. But Stuck in the Ringer skips that part. It turns the guy who caused the problems into the victim. And the guy who suffered the most was the villain. At the end of the day, Stuck in the Ringer isn't just a worst episode, it's a misunderstanding.
I think the Splinter episode is worse than this, though. personally. Like, I would watch this before I watch the Splinter episode again. I would say that. I have to tap into what was the other one? What was it called? Ink Lemonade. Yeah, I gotta tap into this one. I gotta tap into Ink Lemonade, bro. I don't know what's what is season 11? Alright, bet. I might watch it after stream. Ink Lemonade.
This understanding of its own characters, of how friendship works, of what made this show mean something to people in the first place. You can be loud, you can be weird, you can be stupid. SpongeBob has always been all of those things, but you can't be heartless. But maybe that's just a running theme with these later.
Greasy buffoon, model sponge, keep bikini on. Damn, I feel like I haven't seen like half of these
episodes. The jokes are always kind of a miss. Whether it's a friendship like this, or legacy, or the way the show treats the characters that built it, modern SpongeBob doesn't always know what to do with the things that made it great. In fact, if you watched our last episode, you probably know which moment broke that trust even more than this one. A story that was once about doing greatness, now reduced to a kelp in the background. If you haven't seen it yet, well, it's one of the saddest stories SpongeBob has ever told, and they didn't even mean to tell it. Until next time.
They did it. Oh, I guess, yeah, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy would probably still be around. This episode is a definition of gaslighting. Fair. Someone being in a wheelchair, but their caretaker's doing a horrible job, and the wheelchair person snaps at the caretaker for not doing a good job. Everyone gets mad at the wheelchair person. It makes no sense. True. Yeah, see, that's why I was thinking, like, they might have been trying to cook, like, a real-life example. That's what I was thinking. But at the same time, it's like, bro, the target audience is, like, 11-year-olds, bro. Like, you know what I mean? That shit's not gonna land, you know? A pal for Gary. Is that one bad? Second time I seen a pal for Gary. Ew, what the fuck is that? Oh, no, I ain't never seen this shit before. Wait, 2010? What the fuck? I've never seen this shit. 2010? Damn, when did I stop watching SpongeBob? 3 out of 10? Oh, shit. Okay, wait, hold on. Season 7? Damn, how did I not see this? It's the worst episode of the entire show? Type shit. Alright, bet. Bet, I gotta tap in then, bro. I gotta tap in. I'm running all over there. That was a good vid though. Where